Good morning, and welcome back to Jody Lewis Creations. In today's video, we are going to talk a little bit about what's on my table. I also am kind of doing a test run. A very, very sweet friend sent me a microphone, so I want feedback on the sound and placement. I did try to film a little bit yesterday. I was wearing a hoodie, and so the placement on the hoodie was really weird just because of the nature of not having anywhere to clip it. I want to have it set where you can't hear my breathing, but maybe it will even out my voice in the videos. In the past, I know I've had people say, I can't hear you. And even when I'm watching videos back, sometimes if I'm wearing my earbuds, I don't have any problem with the volume. But if I don't have my earbuds in or headphones on, it can be a little bit difficult. And I think just the nature of my personality, when I think other people can hear me, I drop the volume. So I've done that the whole time. It is something I'm trying to work on. So hopefully this microphone will help. So please let me know if it's better. No rude comments. Lord knows we get enough rude comments as creators. We don't need more. So only positive or constructive feedback, please. Thank you. Okay, so I will tell you guys, I have like 3 different things in the works. I do have botanical stuff out. I do have some stuff printed for the French blue that Tracie released, and I am spinning a story with that. It just needs some more work. And then this morning I wake up to another case book, and I love it. And I thought, you know what? I have to work on something for a design team project. So why not play with this, because it's grungy and hopefully I can get in a groove and spin a story. These pages are not in order. I kept bringing them in here as they were printing to get them off the printer. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for your continued support. I really appreciate it. The growth of the channel right now has just been wonderful. I'm going to attribute that to the ABC challenge, even though I would like to think it's my sparkling personality. And you guys all want to be here to see what kind of chaos ensues at Jody Lewis Creations. What is she going to do today? So clearly this is not a small project. So I'm trying to get my head back, get that creative door kicked open instead of it just being a small crack. I measured these, and because I have no brain power, I can't remember what they measured. 8 by 8. They're about 8 by 8. So I want to do something different. I'm thinking, why not change it up? Maybe it will help the creative flow. Maybe as we start building this, I can do those quirky little side spins that seem to be pretty popular with you guys. There is a lot on these pages. So you can see the layers and layers and layers and layers that are on here. And I'm like, oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? If I fold this to make like a TN style, it's going to lose a lot of the details of the pages. That's kind of the phrase I'm after. Sorry about that. I am not sorry about that. I'm going to be perfectly real with you guys. I am super struggling, and half the time I don't even know my name. I certainly probably couldn't tell you what day it is, but that's okay. All right, so we have some fingerprints and this guy and who is he and what's going on. We have all these layers, and so I'm going to do something different. What I think I'm going to do is cut some cardstock at 8 1/4, just for a little bit of a reveal. Or for simplicity's sake, maybe I should just do 8 1/2 by 8 1/2, and then I don't have a bunch of scraps and waste. I'm putting scraps in the bin, that those of you who make fun of me for keeping scraps, I'll just take that away from you. So let's cut our bases at 8 1/2 by 8 1/2. That's going to do 2 things. That's going to give me room on this side for the binding. It's also going to give me room on this side if I want to embellish or hang charms or whatever off of it. I don't know where I'm going with this, but I'm thinking I'm going to do black. I was going to do like cream cardstock and then coffee dye it or ink it, and I'm like, maybe I should just do black. And then, so I don't know yet. I have both. I can use both, so we'll see. Okay, so then we have these pages, but see, again, like this page could be folded. Like this could be part of a file case in the calendar they're carrying around. I don't know. And then what's going to happen here? I don't know. I don't know yet. Because of the, I will tell you this. I'm trying to write a story, and I am trying to write a story that's based in local history, and then I'm putting a creative spin on it and totally making up a character. I used to write essays and reports and all the fact-based stuff. I can all day long do that. I'm really good at that. Putting the creative spin into the stories, I've never written like that. See, this was a little chat with the printer. It's why I end up with funky pages. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh, the creative spin. I was never good at creative writing as a younger person, and I have not written in my adult years. So I'm thinking, why not expand and allow myself a little bit of room to play and see what we can come up with. So that's in the works, but that's not this project. Although I'm kind of feeling like this one might lead us into that one. So hopefully this will help with the inspiration for making up stuff for that. Okay. I have the basis of it written. It just needs some work. I love this. It's like, oh, love it so much. Okay, so this is just a flip through of the pages that I have printed. So what I have to do next is determine the background. Do I want to use black or do I want to use cream? Actually, I think that the determining factor is going to be the weight of the paper itself. And I think I'm going to already know the answer to that. So let me grab one cream, one black, feel how they feel, and see which one says, pick me, pick me. Normally, I wouldn't let you just stare at my desk when I walk away, but testing, I'm walking away. I'm walking over to where the 8.5 by 11 papers are, and I want to know, can you guys hear me? Is the sound coming through okay? Where are we at with that? And so this is just like a test of sound for you guys. Because that's something that I need to know. This thing says, I think it says it's got 65 feet radius that it can do. Woo! Well, that was more than one sheet. The whole stack of black just fell out on us. Okay. So that was just a test. Normally, I wouldn't let you just sit there. Okay. And yeah, I figured by weight, the cream was going to win. I wanted the black. I think the black would look better, but the cream is going to win just by the structure and weight. So that means I've got to somehow age these up some. So let me kind of get a plan. And I do think, let's just tear this one down, and then that will help determine the size that I really want to do. There's also another project in the works. Oh my gosh. So I have a friend, and she and I were brainstorming, and she's so cute and cannot give away any details. But I'm super excited about what she's working on, and I cannot wait for that to come. And I'm just really excited about it. It's going to be a fun little quirky something for her and I, and totally for our entertainment. And hopefully your entertainment too, because I'm going to film it. But anyway, so I know that's in the works too. But I can't tell you what that is either, because that's going to give away something I don't want to get. I don't want to spoil it yet. Gosh, I'm having deja vu so bad right now. Oh, I like that. Okay, I think that size, so 8.5 by 8.5, I think is going to be a really good size. It is still going to play into the width of how I bind these. So maybe I actually come over like 1/2 inch there to allow for the binding. Push you over 8.5. So 8 3/4, and then that leaves me 2 1/4 strips, which is kind of a weird size, but okay. So let's change our dimension here to 8 3/4, and this is our width, and this is our height. So I'm going to cut a few of these. I don't know how many I'm going to need, so I'm not going to sit and cut 20 pages to that size. I think probably I'm going to start with 10. Now, I've mentioned the binding multiple times. You're probably like, what are you doing? I've never done a tab binding journal, so I want to do a tab binding journal. I got some really cool fabrics for Christmas, so maybe I can use some strips of those. Maybe I will just coffee or rust dye some muslin and make some rusty strips there. I really want this to be grungy and masculine and fun. I do have one page that's printed with some flowers on it, and I'm like, gosh, do I want to do that? I'm not sure. I want to leave some room though. Like, none of these bases are getting glued down because we have all these layers, and what could be hiding behind here? Like, we could possibly make that a tuck. I want to work with this, you know, so I want the bases and I want to kind of get a plan, but it doesn't mean that I'm just going to glue all these down and call it good. No, we're going to play, but I don't want it to be totally out of control either. And I don't want to lose interest in it because honestly, since Christmas, well, since before Christmas, this is my first gumption to do a big project. That's why you haven't seen Botanical yet, because I just can't do it. Can't do it. So I'm going to get these torn down. I'm going to get these cut down. See where we're at. So I have all the sheets torn down. And one thing I wanted to point out is that some of these sheets are great because they're designed to be blank or have added interest on them. Because a couple of them I was like, there's two of these, that's odd. And then I was like, oh, the pictures, and you know, so it gives you more options as far as adding layers of whatever you want to them. Like maybe you're like, I want to do something else with this page. Well, you have options for that. And so I think that's a really great design feature. Anyway, so I have cut these. I changed my measurement, and I changed my measurement because I really wanted to allow the 1/4 inch all the way around, right? And then I wanted to make sure I had room for my binding here and still have a little bit of room for the for whatever I want if I need something off the edge of that page. So I basically allowed like a 1/2 inch for the binding and then the 1/4 inch so that I would have a 1/4 inch all the way around. I don't know why, that's just what I did. So now what I'm going to do is I put I'll show you. Yes, my hand is on the thing. So I have my other table and I put my just pumpkin table mat down. I'm going to spray these with water. I'm going to spray them with some scorched timber. I might do a little spritz of black soot. I have to be really careful with black soot because it just gets so dark. But I really want these edges to be dark. I don't want to take the time to coffee dye them. So I'm going to spray them, ink them, and let them dry while I go down and prep lunch. So hopefully when I come back, they'll be close to dry. If they're not dry, then maybe I can run like the iron over them and dry them because I do need them to be flat. So I'm going to have to iron them anyway. So I'll come back after lunch, show you how they're transformed. Then that will be the end of this particular video, which will just kind of be the intro. I really don't know where I'm going yet with this project, but I was like, finally, some inspiration.
It is much, much, much later. Of course it is, right?
All right, so these are my 8.5 by 9 pages. I am so thrilled with how they turned out. And I love them. I love the oxide mixed in, and it was only literally right now in this moment that I realized that this was the oxide. I couldn't figure out why I was getting that color. It's so interesting. Super happy with these. I used black soot spray stain, scorched timber spray stain, and scorched timber oxide. So very interesting that the scorched timber oxide is such a lighter brown. But I love all the variation in colors with this, and hopefully you can see with the papers laying here, like just really pulling a lot of those colors in. And then I was brainstorming with my friend because she like knows where I am with just really struggling with Mojo, and she knows the story that I'm trying to work on. Hang on. And I think that, I'm sorry, I had to cough, and with this microphone especially, I don't know how loud that would be, and don't think that we want to learn in this video. Anyway, like I look at this, oh, I love it. Now I did squish these together because the dots were sitting on the paper, and so I smushed them together. Then I was mopping up ink off the tablecloth too because I didn't want to waste it all. Kind of treacherous to do this many sheets on that table. It's not wide enough, but I was able to contain the mess. Like, look at all that. Oh, I love it so much. So anyway, my friend knows like the story that I'm working on, and she was like, you can tie this in. You can use this kit too. And I was like, oh, do I? So I'm kind of changing gears again. But this is going to be like masculine, floral, hardware, laces. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. And I don't know if I'm going to do the tab binding or if I want to do a different kind of binding, just because I don't, with the tab binding, it's not going to allow me to easily add some other pages down. Anyway, so I don't know. I'm just going to create, and then I'm definitely going to leave the 1/2 inch here. Maybe I'll score all of these at a 1/2 inch, so that just lightly score them, but that way I'll know like, hey, don't go past this line when I'm embellishing the pages. I do want to add some pages in here, and that's why I'm questioning like my initial thought. And again, she was like, ooh, what about this? And I was like, oh, I like that. And I think I can make that spin still with using these as the bases. So I'm going to end this video here because at this point, I'm just kind of gathering and brainstorming and trying to figure some stuff out. I did, cut some ephemera out. These I've already backed. I'm listening to a book, and I just wanted to add a little more stability to these pieces because they are just all printed on the 32-pound paper. And give me some options with those. The microscope I backed. I think that will still work with where I'm going. So yeah, I think it'll be fun. I think I'm going to enjoy it. I hope, anyway. I don't even know when the telephone was invented, so I have to look that up because I don't think I can use the telephone. With changing what I'm doing, it's going to change the dynamic with some of these pieces and what I can use. So cryptic, right? So cryptic. Okay. Thank you for joining me. I hope that you are working on something that gets you inspired. If I do change the gears here, I can tell you that I have so many bits and pieces from different kits that Tracie has printed. I've got stuff from Creep on June. I've got stuff from Potter's Infirmary. This another case book. I don't even know. Like, I would have to sit and look at all the different ones that I have taken bits out of. So I have florals printed. I have so many different kits printed. And anyway, so it might be a little complex for me to tell you exactly what's from what kit. Probably the best thing is to sit and figure out all the kits I pulled from, or if there's a specific, this is even easier. If there's a specific piece that you're like, hey, what kit's that from? Let me know and I'll figure it out, because that's going to be far less time consuming than me making an entire list of all the little bits and pieces that I'm using. But all of Tracie's creations are fabulous. So whatever you decide to use, you're not going to go wrong with them. Okay, so I will see you guys in the next video. And yeah, I'm just going to try to continue with a game plan. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. Yes. And thank you again for the massive amount of growth I've had. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much.